Hello, me again, here to talk about the Kingdoms of Arcamor, right? Book 1, Seeking Elvira, coming out March 12th, 2023. Pre-orders begin in January. I'm so excited. So, first of all, do you guys like my shirt? Do I have any anime fans following me? I don't know. Gosh, we love anime. It's pretty much the only thing that we watch. I mean, I don't know, occasionally we watch something else, but we pretty much always watch anime. My son and I recently finished Demon Slayer. If you watch it, I don't want to give anything away, but oh my gosh, just like that last episode, I thought I was gonna die. I know that sounds dramatic, but I just, wow. Anyway, if you haven't watched it, you should. It's a really great anime. If you like anime, we've watched some other really awesome ones. Maybe I should do a video about the anime that I like. Would any of you be interested in that? Let me know in the comments and I will, ramble about all of my favorite anime. I have no problem doing that. So anyway, the reason that I'm making this video today is not to talk to you about how awesome Nezuko is on my shirt, but to talk to you about Raven. So if you haven't read the Raven Nightshade story titled Tantaria Slums on my Substack, you definitely should pause the video and go read it now. What did you guys think of it? It was a little different than the other stories that I've told so far, and it's honestly pretty different than the book, at least than book 1. There's not really anything like her story in book 1. It was difficult to write. There was some hard stuff in that for those of you that did read it, So first of all, there's this aspect of Silone, which is the drug of the world, essentially. For those of you that don't know, my husband is a heroin addict. I say is, even though he has been clean for many years, because once an addict, always an addict. His transformation is absolutely beautiful. For those of you that know him, isn't he amazing? He's seriously amazing, right? For those of you that met him in the last couple of years, you would have no idea that he used to be a drug addict. But anyway, he was. So I felt like it was important for me to put that aspect in my world. So it's not a major, it's not like a major factor or a major event, but it's definitely mentioned. In book 1, I think it's mentioned that there used to be a king in the Grim Wilds and he had a Silone addiction and basically lost his kingdom because of it. So that's there. But in Raven's story, her dad is the addict. So she lives in the slums of Tantaria, which is a city in Kristavium, the tundra. And she's a thief. So in the story, I believe she's 16, and she is a thief whose mother died from an illness that swept through the slums years ago, and she became a thief to help support her family. Her dad before the story began, owned a pawn shop, and so she learned to steal things, so that way they would have things to sell in the pawn shop. And so basically her mom died and her dad became addicted to this horrible drug, which the way I describe it is comparable to heroin, though actually the way that they smoke it is closer to the way that meth is smoked, lighting glass. Anyway, that detail doesn't matter. So her dad is addicted to it. So in the short story, she is going to, she provides the drugs for him to just keep him alive. You don't even really meet him. He's just kind of in bed. But anyway, she has a friend and he gets the stuff for her dad. And in the story, she's going on this job for basically one of the slum lords. And the job does not go well. And they end up forcing her to get high and then forcing other things on her. And some more bad stuff happens. But again, if you haven't read it, I don't want to give it away. So please go read it before listening to the rest of this video. Stop it right now. But she is rescued by a soldier from the King's Legion, just someone who is stationed in Tantaria. His name is Jax Blackmore. And they become best friends, pretty much. He is the commander's, Hector's best friend. Raven is maybe his second best friend, but they're sort of a trio, the three of them in the story. And yeah, Raven's story is really cool because she thinks that she is just this trash from the slums. And Jax basically just invites her to join the Legion. And she's like, what are you talking about? I could not join the Legion. Do you know where you are? Like, look around you. And he's just like, people from the Legion come from all over. Like, why don't you try it? And so more tragic stuff happens, and she eventually does join the Legion. So when you meet her in book 1, she is a soldier in the King's Legion, which turns out to maybe not be the best thing, but it's still a cool story. I really like Raven's character. She is snarky, which you see in the short story, and pretty much right off the bat, like as soon as you meet her, you can tell that she's just this feisty, tiny little like sword daggers. She's got like lots of throwing knives and a big broadsword that she wears. She's awesome. Raven Nightshade. So again, if you haven't read the story, go read the story and tell me what you think about it. I really want to know. I would love to hear what you guys think about the different short stories, about the different characters. Who are you excited to learn more about?